Hi everyone, I'm coming to you from the beautiful island of Oahu just before sunrise right here at Ala Moana Beach. I wanted to take a moment and just talk a little bit about the channel, what we've been doing, where I think we're going, and maybe to solicit some input from great folks like yourself to figure out what's next for Wearable Fandom. I would be remiss if I didn't let you get some really beautiful views of the area here before we start talking about all of my concerns and thoughts. Down here you can see the amazing Diamond Head. Seeing sunrise from Diamond Head is really one of those things that is nice to do, something you really ought to try to do one time at least. And yeah, it's just really gorgeous here. So why did I get up before sunrise to come out here and talk with you guys? Well, I'm gonna be doing a waterfall hike later today. Got a bunch of things, kind of fun things that are planned. And I just wanted to start the vacation off from the right perspective and just talk to you a little bit about the last year or so and a really important milestone that just sort of occurred to me while I was on the plane flying over here. In 2023, a really good friend of mine pointed out this awesome brand. I think I've told this story a bit on the podcast, but the brand was the Roosevelts. And at the time, I had been sort of oscillating because as a tech worker, there really isn't much of a dress code, but I had been getting sick and tired of just wearing t-shirts. And I was looking for new ways to wear something fun that kind of kept the energy up, that made me happy, it made me feel good, but also would really represent the things that I liked and maybe even start up a conversation. So enter those button-down Roosevelt shirts, and it was like, wow, this is exactly what I was thinking about. That was July. Then a couple months later, I'm on Oahu, 2023. Thinking about those shirts, thinking about the start of the community that I had just met and was starting to become familiar with. And I recognized that there might be an opportunity to talk just a little bit. So originally, my channel was completely focused on the Roosevelts. I thought there was a lot of depth in the designs that they were putting out, and it was worthy of a deeper dive. And so with that, I took the trip to Oahu as my preparation trip. I learned how to use my iPhone as a camera. I persuaded myself that I had enough storage and there was enough interesting things that could be captured with just an iPhone. Now, it's important to note that I was very out of practice. Yes, of course, just like everybody, I had shot the personal iPhone video of friends for the memes or just some great moment. I wasn't accounting for composition. I wasn't thinking about lighting. I certainly wasn't thinking about doing much in terms of editing other than sort of trimming the videos down. And I didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere to any great effect. And so I came all the way to Oahu with just my iPhone with this tripod and little case and set off to just start recording things. I didn't have a story that I wanted to tell. I didn't think about what we were going to talk about when we got there. I just thought I would record everything and then make the story up at the end. And, and I'm laughing now because it's just not the way it works, at least not the best videos. The best videos tell you where you're going and then they bring you along in the story. I didn't really script this one out, so if you're sticking along with me, once again, thank you for your support. You guys have really made this journey of Wearable Fandom so much fun. And I'm still improving, hopefully I'm still improving, getting better both with editing and with my thoughts around content, which brings me to the next thing. When I was here in Oahu last time, I didn't have a concept for the channel other than these designs on these shirts are really cool. There was no concept for the Wear Mighty Things podcast. And so right here, as the sun crests above the buildings and begins the day at sunrise here on Oahu, I can say that right here, Wearable Fandom was born. So here at the 1 year anniversary of Wearable Fandom, it's really important to just stop and say thank you so much. Every time I see a like, a comment, a new subscriber, it really motivates me. It makes me want to continue to make content for you guys. And really, that's what this is about. It's about content for you. And so I wanted to talk just a little bit about what we've done over the past year and what I'm thinking about doing next. I really want your feedback here. It's important that the folks who are supporting you are involved and feel engaged and feel like the content that's being created is actually useful and interesting to them. So please drop a comment below on the kinds of things you would like to see. The first very serious project that I worked on was the Hemele no Lilo shirt from the Roosevelts. And I focused on that because not only was it a beautiful shirt, but I really loved the the light sketch design, and I loved the native Hawaiian motifs that were included. It was just a really gorgeous shirt. It's still one of my favorites to this day. And that was really tricky because I went through probably 5 or 6 cuts of that video before I actually got the one that I released. The sun is coming up right over Waikiki, which is right down there, and it's coming over the eastern side of the island. It's so beautiful. Just gonna let this moment kind of speak for itself. After the Himele no Lilo shirt review, I learned a lot. That video I think ended up being like maybe 2.5 minutes, and it took me a solid month to actually get that thing done. And the reason for that was because I had to contemplate the entire direction that I wanted to take the video. What did I want to say? I had to get all of the footage and record it. And at that point in time, I was still recording with my iPhone, which did a great job, to be honest. I mean, for the shirts, but I realized that it wasn't exactly what I wanted in terms of how to present things. I couldn't get the right angles, I didn't have the lighting that I wanted, and I felt like that stuff mattered. If you watch a lot of YouTube creator content about getting started with YouTube, one of the things that they will tell you is don't spend a lot of money on gear. And to be honest, mostly I didn't do that, but there were a few things that I did end up buying, and I was super happy that I did. We'll talk about gear in another video, but suffice it to say that I learned a lot on that Himele no Lilo, and I kept learning more little elements of what I wanted to do inside of Premiere. Each little step, you know, making a slightly better video. And I was really happy, and I was getting up at 5 a.m. local time, and I would then spend 2 hours editing and get as far as I got and get planned for the next video. I quickly realized that I was not going to have any chance to actually keep up with the output of the Roosevelts, and so I was going to have to get picky choosy if I wanted to stay focused on the Roosevelts. Also, I realized that it's a lot of work to do all the editing. I started trying to figure out how could I keep up my velocity and content, keep talking to and supporting the audience. I started doing the Rucking with Roosevelts videos, which were basically just walk and talk vlogs, similar to this one. And those are a lot of fun, actually. Got a lot of engagement from those. I asked for questions that people wanted to talk about, and I got a lot of fun engagement there. And those videos are also a lot of fun, but they also felt like those are starting to move me away from the audience and from the main thrust and purpose of the channel. And so I slowed down on doing that kind of stuff. We also started the podcast, I would say somewhere March or April, and that's been going strong. That's been a lot of fun, and it's been a great opportunity to combine not just reviewing of those Roosevelt shirts, but also just getting to know John, getting to know the community of folks, and that's really been a huge blast, and the response from folks has just really been heartwarming and encouraging. I know that both John and I really enjoy doing that, and we're doing that for the audience. And then of course we've gone to San Diego Comic-Con and done reviews from the show floor with special coverage on, you know, the new apparel and lines that are being released. That's been a lot of fun. Oh, hi. Look at this guy. He's just like, I know who I am. I know whose bridge this is. What a boss bird that guy is. So it's been a really great year. And so now let's just talk a little bit about where do we go from here? I mean, we could keep doing what we're doing, and I think that would be a lot of fun. And I hope that you guys would still want to come along on that journey with us. We got to keep moving forward. And so we're not going to stop doing the podcast. And that is just too much fun. And it's a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. My ambition in the next year is to expand out and to do additional shows. Maybe they're podcasts, maybe they're just YouTube shows, but I want to start getting even more focused into specific fandoms. I noticed when I went to D23, there was a lot of engagement on those videos, and I can't ignore that. You know, there's a lot of folks who are interested in watching videos for Disney stuff. And I love Disney stuff. It's so much fun to cover. The people are friendly. There's a dark side to Disney, and maybe that's a video we need to talk about at some point in time, but I'm very interested to focus still on the wearable fandom aspects of Disney. And I'm looking for other options. You know, what other fandoms do we not talk about enough now that you would love to watch videos from? I would love to start doing that. So you can expect to see some additional shows coming out that are focused a little bit more on those individual fandoms. Where Mighty Things will continue, but I really want to get focused so that I can serve those communities as well. And I think that's the point of this content. There are some people I respect tremendously, like Diggin' the Greats, who's one of my favorite channels for the love of the theme parks, Disney kind of life. There's a slice of life, but there's also a story behind a lot of the things that they try to communicate. And I really love the storytelling approaches that they have. It's just really inspiring, and I enjoy watching those videos. And I want to learn from them and start making better videos as a result myself. But I don't want to lose the main goal and purpose of this channel, which is about apparel. And so I might start doing bigger or deeper stories, but you know what? That'll maybe be a different channel, and maybe that'll be a different journey that you'll want to come along with me on. So in signing off here, I just want to say thank you guys for an amazing year. Technically, this is not the official 1-year anniversary. You know, the date of your first video posting is the 1-year anniversary, but this is the moment when I contemplated the channel. This is when I started making content, and some of that content did make it all the way to the channel. And so I was feeling a little contemplative, thinking about it, and realized, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just say hi. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna be on a hike a little bit later this week. I'm also heading up to Aulani, the Disney resort here. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep putting out videos. So if you made it all the way this way, this is a heartfelt thanks from me to you. Really, really appreciate all the support and love that you guys have shared. I'm gonna sign off, everybody. So long, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.